Hello, amazing listeners of the Becoming You podcast. How are you doing? Before we move into the gist of how we're doing, if we're fine, let me introduce the podcast. This is the Becoming You podcast where we talk about the complexities of adulthood. I am your host, Bukola. If you're listening to us for the first time, welcome. On this podcast, we talk about everything from the serious stuffs to the playful stuffs, just everything that has to do with us as adults. And if you're a returning listener, thank you for sticking with the podcast. I love you so much. Back to the greetings. How are you doing? How's your week coming along? What are the plans for this weekend? Where are we going? Are we turning up? You guys, let me know in the comment section. On my end, this week was intense. It was intense in a good way. I had a deadline I was trying to catch up with, and I was able to do that, so I feel still chilled right now. But on Wednesday, I experienced something that someone described as a brain fatigue episode. Is it fatigue or fatigue? Anyways, I felt mentally exhausted. I was working on something, and at some point my brain wasn't just working. I was unable to think. I was unable to put my ideas together, and I was forcing it. At some point I had to just give in. I closed my laptop, I arranged my space, then I went to make this really sumptuous spaghetti. Oh my god, that spaghetti was really nice. And I slept. By the time I woke up the next morning, I felt so refreshed. And the funny thing is, what I was struggling to achieve the previous night, I was able to do it faster the next morning. And the moral lesson from that incident is, please remember to always prioritize your well-being and give your body a break whenever it demands for a break. You don't have to wait for your body to totally shut down, for you to feel like you're not in control of your body before you give your body the break it's asking for, or the break your body deserves. Respect your body, treat your body well. Good food, you guys, you don't know what good food can do to our bodies, but yeah, please always remember to just give yourself a break. So let me just know in the comment section, how are you doing? During the course of the week, I had a catch-up call with my friend. I call it catch-up calls because business has taken me far away from my friends, and the only way I can be in their businesses, feel so close to them, is via these calls, these catch-up calls. And they're always long calls. We speak for hours, just talking about everything, and rant about problems, talk about our challenges, gossips, share the good news if there are any. And we just talk. I noticed that I actually have a pattern, or lately I've developed a pattern in talking to my friends, or in the kind of conversations I actually have with my friends. We start with the greetings, and from the greetings we move into the gossip phase where I get to spill the tea, and we move into the last phase. This last phase is always the most intense phase of our conversations, because we're talking about our life problems, and we're worrying, and we're complaining. Personally, I start off by complaining about how exhausted I am physically, how exhausted I am mentally, and they have a lot to complain about, so they talk about things also. It just seems like every one of us has something we're facing. It's either financial issue. I think financial issue is the most common issue. Talking about how we want to get great jobs. Then we also talk about relationship. It's so nice to see that I and my friends are already talking about marriage. We're not seeing marriage anymore as something that is far into the future. We see it as something that should be happening already, and we're talking about marriage from a place of intentionality. And it's just so weird and so cute that we're getting to that phase in life. And me, I always add the academic touch to the conversation, and I just rant. So I would name this phase the therapy phase. So after ranting, we encourage ourselves. After the particular catch-up call I had this week, I was just thinking about the kind of things we were complaining about, and I realized that our worries and our complaint actually stems from the fact that we do not have the perfect life we thought we would have. We've currently not achieved what we actually thought we were going to have achieved at the age we are currently. And I just identified the illusion of having a perfect life as the root cause of our problems. Because both of us, although we're in different phases in life, but we can't see past the challenges that we're facing. We can't see past the problems and difficulties that comes with the phase. So rather than enjoying the phase, we are just complaining about different things, complaining about how the phase is supposed to be perfect and it's not perfect. So in today's episode, I want us to actually talk about the idea of a perfect life. Is there something like a perfect life? Is it just an illusion? Does it actually exist? And specifically, I think we have to look at how the idea of having a perfect life sometimes robs us of our chances at being happy. Now let's dive into the conversation of the day. Right before we dive in, let's hear what these amazing people think of the adulthood phase.
Adulthood is responsibility.
Adulthood is complicated.
Adulthood is growth.
Adulthood is maturity.
Adulthood is being independent.
Adulthood is stressful.
Adulthood has been confronting.
Adulthood is draining.
Adulthood is decision making.
Adulthood is resilient.
Adulthood is overwhelming.
Adulthood is fun and adventurous.
Remember, I'm not here to demonize this phase, but to say it as it is. When we think of a perfect life, we're thinking about a life without flaws, without challenges, without difficulties, a life where everybody is so happy, nobody is crying, there's no problem. We just wake up, we eat what we want, we can buy what we want, we can go on vacations where we want to. Just that kind of perfect life. Talking about itself is sounding so perfect. I can imagine having all those things. Before we move on, I want us to do a quick exercise. It's a very quick one. I want you to close your eyes and think about your life right now. All the problems you're facing, all the difficulties, all the challenges. And think about that one solution to all the problems you're facing right now. Just think about that one solution, that solution you feel once you get right now, you cannot have any problem again. So have you thought about it? So now you can open your eyes if you've been able to identify that solution. And if you're yet to identify it, I'm just going to give you 1 second more. Open your eyes. I think most of us have been able to identify it right now. For most of us, I feel the solution is going to be money related. You just want money, a particular amount of money, a particular type of business. We just want these things. I'm rooting for us. I pray we get everything we want, everything we desire. We get the solution and even more. I hate to be the one to break it to us. However, I think we need to understand and we need to know that after getting that particular ultimate solution, new levels of challenges basically will be unlocked by getting that one solution you actually think will solve all your problems. So yes, it might actually solve your current problems, but just remember that that solution or that thing is also coming with its own problems. What do I mean? For instance, now, some people might be like, if I have a certain amount, my life is going to be in order, like everything will be in check. I'll be able to afford everything I want and I'll be good to go. Let's say $1 billion, for instance. Fine, you can get that particular amount of money. The first challenge you'll have to face after getting this money is how to be a billionaire, because you've never been there. You do not know what to do. You don't know how to maintain the status. How do you act with that kind of money? What do you do? What do you invest in? How do you spend it? Some people might have problems spending the money anyways. The next problem is, how would you even maintain your status as a billionaire? The problem will just come up. Your wants will change. Your desires will change. The challenges we face in life are actually a prerequisite for growth. If we don't face them, there is no way we're able to grow. There's no way we're able to move from a particular stage to another phase. On becoming an adult, I have realized that, the idea of just having that perfect life is an illusion. So the illusion of a perfect life makes us feel always like something is missing from our lives, and we're always in search of that thing so we can be happy. We work towards it. Then the funny thing about this whole thing is we eventually get what we're looking for, and after getting what we're looking for, we realize that it's not all that after all. It's not even perfect. This illusion of a perfect life just makes us feel like we need something to complete us. It makes us feel so incomplete, so unhappy, because we just feel like there's something missing. Our lives are supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be like the movies, and it just takes everything away from us unknowingly, because time is passing by, and rather than us enjoying each day as it comes, we're chasing after something that does not even exist. The idea that there's a perfect life somewhere, the idea that there's something missing in our lives is false, and it's very harmful. It's very harmful because it takes today away from us. We're unable to just enjoy the moment. We're unable to make friends, to make memories, because we're just too busy running. It's very good for us to just take each day as it comes, enjoy the process. We need to understand that the challenge that comes with each new phase is to make us grow, is to help us develop ourselves, is to help us discover new things about ourselves. So we just have to focus on the light, no matter how dim it seems to be. We have to focus on the light and not focus on the problems we are facing, because focusing on our problems steals today away from us, because we're just unable to enjoy the moment. This idea of having a perfect life makes us discontent with our lives. We always compare ourselves with other people because we think their lives are perfect. They have it all together. happy family, a good career, finances, and maybe one of those things is actually missing from you, and you feel like having that thing will solve your problem. So like, it just makes us feel discontent even when we're doing well, even when we're moving at a good pace, even when we're making impacts. We just feel discontent with our process. We just feel discontent with everything happening with us, because we have an idea of a perfect life and our life is not really aligning with the idea we have in our head. The illusion of a perfect life also puts us under this societal pressure where we're working so hard to meet up with the expectation of people. For some of us, we just feel like at certain age we're supposed to have achieved certain things. I'm closer to 30 than I was to 20, and most of my friends are, we're looking at 30 right in front of us. The kind of things we thought we were going to have achieved by 30. The 30 is that big age. There's the way this society's expectation of us conditions our mind. Society's timeline controls our timeline, because everybody around getting certain things done before 30, you have to get it done, and as a result of that, you just feel so unhappy with your life. We just really need to understand that nobody has that perfect life, that life without flaws and blemish, that life that is happy 100% every day, any day. Everyone has the challenges they face in different forms. It doesn't have to be a life-threatening challenge, but everybody's just trying to understand life as they move, especially people that are growing, because as you grow, you're entering a new phase of life that you've never experienced before. As you grow, you're getting opportunities you've never gotten before, and you have to navigate them on the spot. You have to understand how to make good use of them on the spot. The challenges we face in life as adults are not unique to us. A friend of mine sent me text just rant about how difficult this adulthood faces and how challenging it is. And one thing I realized from the conversation is that the person actually feels they're the only one going through the problems and going through the challenges, and they feel like every other person has it all figured out. I had to remind the person that nobody has it all figured out, and at that point an idea dropped in my mind. I'm thinking of creating something like a support group for adults, just this group where we're able to just jump on calls once a week and rant. I feel like this group will help us realize that our problems are not unique to us, and when we realize that our problems are not unique to us, our challenges are not unique to us, we're able to find the strength we desire or the strength we need to move ahead, to go for what we want and not to give up on life. I'm still thinking about the group thing. I don't know, let me know if it's a good idea. Would you join a support group? Not really a support group, but like a group where you can just rant about your challenges, about a stressful week you had, and mind you, there's no therapist on the group, so everybody will just be like, oh yeah, sorry, and we'll just move on. We'll just give you the shoulder you need to cry on if you need to cry or something like that. Let me know if you would buy the idea of that group, and maybe we can just get to share opportunities among ourselves and just help each other grow. How do we get rid of this, this idea of a perfect life that we've had in our heads all our lives, that is stopping us from actually being grateful for the things we have? How do we get rid of this idea of a perfect life? I think one is we need to learn to embrace each day as it comes and the challenges that comes with it. I have not gotten there, so I'm also in the process, but I would always say identifying that there's a problem is the fastest way to get a solution, because when you know there's a problem, you're doing everything within your power to get a solution. So firstly, we have to learn to embrace each day. Remember that it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be flawless. So when these challenges come, we have to have a positive way of understanding them, of seeing things. We need to learn to focus on the things that made us smile during the day rather than the things that broke us down, the things that made us cry. To get rid of this idea of a perfect life, we need to focus on living life the way we want, not on living life the way other people think we should live life, or the way other people think our lives are supposed to be. We have to unlock that level of self-love, where we get to know ourselves and we stay true to ourselves. We get to live life for us. Life is too short for us to be living on other people's terms. We have to make our own terms. And rather than focusing on having a perfect life, maybe we should focus on having a stable life, having a healthy life. Just focus on the things that are within your control, the things that you have power to control, the things you can work on. Focus on those things rather than focusing on the things you do not have control over. And also focus on the things you have. Let's stop thinking about, if I have What of the ones you have? What have you done with it? What of the ones you have? What have you done with them? What of the ones you have? How well have you used them? How well do you enjoy them? The opportunities you currently have, how well are you making use of them? The time you currently have, how well are you maximizing it? Let's leave the what ifs. For most Nigerian youths, I think this is very relatable. Once I jackpot, I'm very sure my life is going to go smoothly. I hate to break it to you that jackpot is not as smooth as it sounds, or it's not all about just taking pictures in winter jackets. It's about trying to settle in a place you've never been before. It's about being lonely, leaving your family, leaving your friends behind. So like, let's just ditch this idea of, if I get this, my life will be perfect. Let's focus on now. Let's focus on the things you have. How well are you using them? We have to be at peace with ourselves. Let's understand that even as humans, we are not perfect. We're flawed. One level of maturity I attained last year, and I'm really glad for, is I have become like really blunt with myself. I am truthful with myself. Do not lie to myself. I know my flaws. I know when I'm not doing things the right way I should do them. I know when I'm facing challenges, and I'm not afraid to ask for help. Yes, let me bring my Afrobeat dance class just again. So the last class was bad. It was bad. I'm not even understanding the Afrobeat that we're being taught. And this person came and said, today I want us to do a fusion of Afrobeat and Afro-Brazilian dance. Oh my God. Everything was just going bad. My body was just not moving. Everything was just really, really bad. And I'm beginning to think dancing is not for all of us. I should just stick to the one bed dance I already know. And I told my friend that was with me, I said, see, I'm just here to just have fun. And I'm not going to focus on the fact that I'm not getting the steps and, start feeling bad about myself. I really just want to have fun and test myself with this thing. She felt so like, wow, okay, you're not doing this thing and you're not like afraid to actually say that you're not doing it well. Why would I be afraid? We should just understand we've gotten to that stage in which the only way we can improve from where we're at is by being brutally honest with ourselves. Be at peace with who you are. Be at peace with who you are, your flaws. Like, it's not about just knowing your flaws. Know the things you're good at. Know the things you love doing. Feed into them. I'm getting to be at peace with the fact that I'm not a dancer and I don't know how to dance. And it's cool. It's not everybody that will dance. But I'm trying anyways. And live in the moment and learn to be grateful for every opportunity you're given. We need to build that spirit of gratitude and stop complaining. Complaining is not really helping us. And yes, I don't think there's anything as a perfect life. A life without flaws and challenges. There are always challenges. There are always flaws. And I want us to ditch that idea and believe in the idea of a good life, of an impactful life, of a stable life. Let's work on things that within our control and leave the rest to God. That'll be all on today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. I forgot to drop the question of our chit chat section on my social media platforms because up until Thursday I was looking for a trendy, interesting topic, but I was unable to find anyone. This week was kind of intense, just a lot of issues that are not so friendly, and I wasn't going to just make us discuss about them because I want our chit-chat section to be a bit friendly, not something serious. That'll be all on today's episode. Thank you for watching till the end. Have an amazing weekend and an amazing week ahead. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the next episode. Do not forget to live every moment and leave no room for regrets. Remember to follow this channel so you get notification whenever I drop a new episode. Thank you. Bye.